Now, coming up is going to be Dead Space 2 run by Radish. Let's give him a warm welcome, a good old round of claps, and a good old hype. Go ahead and take it away.
Alright, what's up everybody? I'm Radish SR. I play Dead Space 2. I'm the current world record holder, and I'm going to be doing a Dead Space 2 80% speedrun. So we're just going to go ahead and get started here. Oh, I did not mean to hit continue. That was an accident. So yeah, what we're actually going to do is we're going to start a new game. So... Alright, let's just quit out there. Alright. So we're going to... The first thing that we're going to be doing is time will start whenever we load back into the level. So, which will be in about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright. So, usually when you start this game, you're going to be looking at about a 4-minute long cutscene. But we started straight into where the gameplay is, and the reason why we do that is because restarting and watching that cutscene over and over and over again is very, very painful, and it is not fun to do. So yeah, first part of this run is just going to be us basically dodging these enemies, you know, trying to get to where we need to go as fast as possible by taking the tightest lines and making sure that our movement is on point. So, a little bit about the story of this game. If you have not played Dead Space 1, Isaac was going to the Ishimura to save his girlfriend, who he did not know was dead at the time. But little did he know there was a marker that caused a bunch of zombie aliens to appear. And this is the second game, so we are on the Sprawl on one of Saturn's moons. So basically Isaac just woke up from a 3-year coma, and so now he's just trying to survive at this point. So we're in a straitjacket right now. We won't be in here for long. In fact, we're going to be getting out of the straitjacket like right now in this cutscene right here. So this is Edgar. We don't see him very much at all. In fact, this is the only time that we see him at all. But he's going to be cutting us out of the straitjacket, which is very important. So... yeah, so the main, you know, there's a lot of skips in this game. Over the years, this game has been cut down a lot in terms of the time. Just about a year ago, it was about a 150, and now the current record is about a 120. So a bunch of new tech has been discovered over the past year by two people in chat, particularly Looney and Sharkcat87. They are both in chat. They're both also very good speedrunners, so I'd like to shout them out as we start this run. So... as you can see right there, he just cut us out of the straitjacket. So. There's a health pack and a flashlight in that wall. You should grab them. Alright, we're going to be grabbing a health packet and a flashlight here. So, we're going to be doing a trick a little bit down the line with the flashlight. But that won't be for a bit. So this is Dana. And little do we know at this time, but Dana is not the good person. But originally, we think that she is the protagonist. We think that she is trying to save us. But that turns out to not be true at the end. So coming up is our very first trick. It is called Table Boost. It's really nothing special. It's just a wall boost. So a wall boost in this game is there are certain collisions that you can boost on top of by gaining height. So as you can see right there, we boosted on top of that, and then we just ran over those tables. A lot of these tricks in this game only work with high FPS. And I'll explain this a little bit. But yeah, a lot of the tricks in this game only work with high FPS. What we just did right there is called flashlight duplication. So, in the tutorial menu, there's a restore health tutorial, and what that'll do is that'll actually spawn in the flashlight again, and so the animation for picking up the flashlight actually cancels out any cutscene that you're in. So there's a second one that we actually do here for in-game time, but we're not going to be doing that because that is slower for real time. Alright, here we grab probably the best mechanic that you can use in this game for like combat, and that's kinesis. Kinesis is pretty broken in this game. It's just like a really, really strong thing that you can use because it, at least in early game. Oh, please move, thanks. At least in early game, it one-shots a lot of the enemies. So yeah, we're gonna be dodging this guy. I hope he's gonna chase us. All right, we gotta have another health packet here. So, full running speed is about halfway. Your health, it needs to be about halfway to have full running speed. So yeah. We're going to be dodging a lot of enemies in this room. So I will be attempting Quarantine Skip. Quarantine Skip is definitely... Oh, that is not a good position. Yeah, Quarantine Skip is definitely the hardest skip in this game. By a lot. So what we're going to be doing is... This enemy will lose his AI whenever he leaves that room that he was just in. Oh, please stop. But yeah, this enemy will lose a lot of his AI, so that's why he's not attacking us right now. Really? I need you to move, table, or wheelchair. Oh my. There we go. So yeah, we're just going to be pushing him through, and what he's going to be doing is he's going to be keeping this door open, which will actually cause us deload a little bit later. And what deloads do, they're very important. I'll explain them in a little bit. But right here, we have our very first weapon, the plasma cutter. So this guy thinks that we're going to help him. We are definitely not going to do that. We're just going to take the plasma cutter and then leave. So F to this dude. Alright. So now, with that enemy keeping that door open, and what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to change my controls a little bit for part of this skip a little bit later. But what that's going to do is that is going to keep a door open, which will cause a deload right here. So you can see everything about the level except for the collision loads in. So that allows us to run through locked doors. It skips a ton of these fights. So yeah, we can just skip a lot of these rooms and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. So we're going to be doing a lineup here, which will allow us to hit a door that skips a big fight in this next room. Hopefully, this is the hard part. Oh, I think we got it. Okay, that was interesting. Okay, nice. We got it. All right. So, yeah. We basically hit a door at the bottom of that room that we were just in that allows us to skip, because there was usually a big fight there that would save about a minute, or that would take up a minute. But yeah, that skip is very difficult. That is without a doubt the hardest skip in the game. I would say it kills around 50% of runs. So yeah, very, very hard to do and to pull off, but it is pretty consistent. So if you have the skill, then it is not that bad to do. We just got stasis, by the way. What stasis allows us to do is to slow down a lot of these enemies. So if we're ever in a sticky situation, then we can slow a lot of these enemies down and just get ourselves out of it. It is also going to be used for some skips down the line. That is true, yeah. It's early in the run, so it's not, if you reset to it, it's not that bad. But there are some skips that are pretty difficult later down the line. Alright, if you've got any questions, there is some downtime here, so.
All right, sounds good. So just wondering, what exactly got you into speedrunning?
So this is actually the first game that I've ever officially speedrun before. I love Dead Space 2. This is probably my favorite game of all time, right? It's just such an amazing game. And so I picked it up again recently. And I was like, okay, I want to get better at this game. So, speedrunning was just starting to get popular around a year ago. And so I was like, okay, let's check out the speedrun of this game. And I saw that a very popular speedrunner named Waifu was doing it. And he was actually the world record holder for a little bit at the time. And so I got into speedrunning, and I have been in this community ever since, and it's been awesome. So I've met a lot of wonderful and really nice people. And I've gotten to spend a lot of my time, you know, with these people and hang out with them and talk to them. You know, it's been really awesome.
Yeah, I tend to find that speedrunners are the nicest people.
Absolutely, you got a couple of them in chat, Living Looney Bin and Sharkcat87. I mean, those guys in the Dead Space community, they are the nicest people that you will come across. So, so we just got our first suit here, the engineering suit, and this is the only suit that we will ever be getting. We will not be upgrading our suit at all. Basically because we just have to spend our money on other things, such as weapons and stuff. By the way, this is the first boss in Dead Space 2, and it is the hardest boss in Dead Space 2. And I am not lying when I say hardest. So that was the boss. The boss is dead now. And you may be like, okay, why is it the hardest boss if it just died that easily? That's because every single other boss in this game is extremely easy. There is no difficult boss in Dead Space 2. None. Alright, so we are finally out of Chapter 1. This is one of the longer chapters in the game, for sure. But yeah. We're going to be moving on to Chapter 2, and this is where the action is really going to start to pick up. I will not die to a boss later on, I promise you that, Alexis. That will not happen. Alright, so we're going to pick up that box and knock that guy down just to get the items in it. That guy will charge you if you don't do something about him, so... And this lady is going to get absolutely wrecked by him, and we're just not going to do anything about it. Alright. So we have another wall boost coming up here. This skip is called Pot Plant Boost. It saves about 1.5 minutes, if I remember correctly. It's one of the easiest tricks to pull off, but again, a lot of these tricks you need high FPS in order to do. So you can't just expect to do this on console. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be backing up into a plant in order to store a little bit of height, and then we're going to be getting a wall boost on the other corner. So just get the height, turn around. And now we're out. So we're going to be just running over here. And then checkpoint restarting as soon as we hit those credits. And that will allow us to skip a fight and a bunch of, I think an elevator, so. We're going to dodge this guy right here. So this fight here, we shot that guy and we kinesis him to kill that leaper. That's probably the fastest way to do it. We're going to be introduced to a new enemy here called the Exploders. Exploders are some of the easiest enemies in the game because they will literally die in one hit. But we're not going to be shooting him because we're going to be wanting to... basically that guy right there, he is invincible if he comes out of that vent, unless you use either the hand cannon or one of their own sacks. So we just grabbed a sack off of the guy that we killed and shot it through there so he dies a little bit faster. So normally when you play this game, this would only open after that infector infected this guy right here. But we can shoot the glass through, or we can kill that guy by shooting the glass and impaling him with a spear so that the door opens a lot faster. By the way, those are hack panels. So hack panels in this game are pretty nerve-wracking, especially if you're on a good run. Because if you miss it, it'll essentially kill your run. Alright, so now we're on the train. And this is a pretty boring part of the run. There's not really anything going on. We're just going to be killing a lot of enemies, you know, trying to do our best to get the items that they have. Alright. Who is predicting yes? I'm curious. I will not die in a boss. I swear. By the way, we just straight up dodged that peeker. So. Wait. What is winning right now? I can't look. Is yes actually winning?
Right now, yes is winning at 66%.
I promise you, you guys just wasted a lot of your points.
I'm sure. I hope they have, because I hope to see you win.
I will not die to a boss. That will not happen.
So do we have a quick moment for another question?
Yeah, we do.
All right, so this game looks like it's pretty complex in terms of speedrunning. Is there any sort of like tech that you might be doing that we're not quite able to see because we're watching it over the internet?
Not necessarily, actually. I think a lot of, like, you can definitely see a lot of the tech that we do in this run. You will not be able to understand it first go, and it'll, you know, you won't be able to perform it first go. But there's not any tech in this game that you can't see over the internet.
Okay. So it's just more along the lines of practice and just know the way through the levels.
Absolutely, especially through some of those deloads. You know, you absolutely need to know your way through the levels in order to, you know, just to make sure. So yeah, deloads do look whack at first, but again, it just takes, you know, knowing what to do and knowing the level in order to memorize those deloads. So yeah. Wait, Shark, you voted yes? I want to know, Sharkcat. What boss do you think I'm gonna die on? I want to know. So Sharkcat, if you guys don't know, he is actually second. He's second place right now. He is also an extremely good Dead Space 2 speedrunner. So yeah, we are now.
Sounds like somebody might be salty they don't have first place.
Nah, Sharkcat is extremely good. He's so good at this game. It's actually insane. So here's the pack, and the pack is a bunch of weak little babies. They will literally die if you throw anything at them. But we're just gonna shoot them because it is faster. I'll just do extended drill skip, easy. Alright, so yeah, the goal is to just kill all these pack as fast as possible, which we just did, and that'll trigger a dialogue with Strauss. Strauss is this crazy guy who is... He's sort of in the same group as Isaac in that he can, you know, kind of see the symbols and know what the marker is and how to destroy it and whatnot. So he's actually going to be... Oh my god, I have 3 stasis packs? What the Okay, interesting. Anyways. So yeah, stasis packs are pretty rare to come across. And they're also very valuable. So yeah, we don't... I'm pretty surprised that I already have 3 stasis packs. But yeah. By the way, we just swapped the line gun and the javelin gun. Both of these weapons, they're not only good for combat, but they're also used for some skips. Actually, the javelin gun isn't used for any skips, but the javelin gun is good for combat, so... Yeah, Dana will explain a little bit here what Strauss is, so... Another hacking panel. So you have to hit 3 blue spots. If you hit anything else, if it's just clear or red, then you will have to start the puzzle all over again, which wastes about 6 seconds if I remember correctly. So yeah, it's really not fun to miss one of those. Alright, so coming up is a little bit of a section here where we just have to shoot through a panel, and that'll trigger a decompression. So in these decompressions where you're sliding, you just have to shoot that little hatch that comes down. So yeah, there's going to be pukers that we have to kill. We'll just shoot them, that'll kill the rest of the enemies. And now we're crawling through a vent again. This is a good time so far. Alright. So, coming up is going to be the very first 0G clip in this game. And 0G clips, there's a lot of them. Some of them save a huge amount of time. Some of them don't, like this one that you're going to see. This one only saves about 17 seconds if you get it first try. But first, we put a little combat section. Very nice. Alright. So, basically, the main idea with 0G clipping is, you know, wiggling your head up and down through a piece where geometry meets. Like right here, the door frame, that is a piece where geometry meets. And you can just clip right out of bounds. So, we're just going to be flying over to this door, and we're going to be flying back and opening it, which will load in the level around us, which saves time RTA over just hitting the checkpoint there and restarting. So normally what you have to do through that room is you would have to activate the panel, and you would have to run all the way back and then fly through the tunnel where the trash is. But doing that skips all of that, so saves a pretty decent chunk of time. And that is not an easy skip, by the way. That is one of the harder skips in the game, so. Yeah, I do apologize for this cough that I seem to have. But yeah. So you got another cutscene here where Isaac is hallucinating Nicole again. This is his dead girlfriend. So this is basically the marker speaking to him at this point. Isaac slowly goes more and more insane as he tries to get Nicole out of his head. But yeah. Alright. Alright, so the next trick is going to be an elevator deload. There's only 2 of these that we do in runs. So basically we're going to hit that in order to load in the elevator. We're going to be activating the elevator through the wall, which is something that you can do, which will deload the level around us and allow us to hit a checkpoint down below. So we got a big fight here. We're just going to be killing all of these enemies as fast as possible. Alright, that was a pretty good fight. Alright, that was a good fight. So yeah, you want to kill those enemies as fast as possible. There is a little bit of RNG in that. If you get all exploders, that is better than getting some slashers or some pukers, because exploders will die faster. So yeah. Alright, we're in chapter 4 now. So chapter 4 has one of the more tough skips in the game, called chapter 4 plus 5 skip. So yeah, we're going to be trying to get that first try. But first, we just got to get through this little room right here. We're going to be shooting a timed mine to that guy that'll kill him. And we're going to be killing these guys that pop out of this window right here. Oh. Alright, there we go. And then this will unlock on a time. So there we go. Now we're heading up. So there's going to be a locked door here that we're just going to get through by actually shooting a mine straight through the door, which will... There's a fuse on the other side of this door, which will allow us to unlock this door. So that's pretty crazy. Alright, so this is chapter 4 plus 5 skip. I'm going to focus up here, and I will explain this after I perform the trick. Oh, okay, that works. I think. Hello, am I stuck? I think I'm stuck. Alright, we're gonna checkpoint restart. That's okay. So yeah, you can get stuck there. It's kind of out of your control. It's pretty rare if you get stuck there, but yeah, you can get stuck there sometimes, which is pretty sad. But basically what we're doing is we are trying to clip ourselves to the floor using this table, because there we go. The game does not like it if you are on top of a table, and if you have high FPS, then it'll clip you to the floor if you place a table under you that is good enough size. So now we are on top of the bacilla, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a precise lineup, and we're going to be doing a pause buffer in order to hit a load trigger. There we go. Whew, that was kind of close. Alright, we hit a load trigger. That was in chapter 5, so we actually skipped a lot of gameplay there. So that was good. Alright. So we're going to hit this guy as early as possible, and then we're going to checkpoint restart. Oh, actually... that's okay. I was going to do a pack fight skip, but I'm not really sure how to do it. There's a skip here that you can do that'll actually skip this fight. I'm pretty sure it's a little bit faster RTA, but I'm not entirely sure, so we're just going to kill these guys here. So again, you get another huge pack fight here. Yeah. If you go too fast here, it can actually screw it up, so I'm going to be taking a little bit of my time here. There we go. And I am actually out of plasma cutter ammo. That is not good. But hopefully we can get some a little bit later. So now would be a great time for another question or two.
All right, sounds good. First off, though, do you want to know the final predictions?
I would like to know the final predictions.
We have 59% yes, 41% no, with
Yep.
the top yes being Nemeoki at 5.4 thousand pumpkin.
Well, goodbye to your points, because I will not die to a boss, I promise.
There you go. Time will tell. In the meantime, though, what else do you like to do for fun when you're not speedrunning?
So a lot of my free time goes to school, especially right now, where you got a ton of finals and stuff. But when I don't speedrun Dead Space 2, I like to play other rhythm games like Osu or Guitar Hero. I also play Minecraft a lot. I'm a big Minecraft guy. There's some ammo. That's nice. So yeah, huge Minecraft guy as well. So yeah.
Very nice. Thanks.
And we got a huge cutscene here, so if you have any more questions, that'd be appreciated, because there's really not a lot going on here. But I will say this,
All right.
it does turn out that Dana was not a good person after all, so that's what this cutscene's
my
about.
goodness, who could have possibly guessed that? It's almost like she led us into a unitology tower or something.
Yeah.
Whoa. Anyway, other than this, what games do you run?
So, recently, for a while there, I only actually speedrun Dead Space 2, for quite a while. But recently, I had actually played Outlast more than I had played Dead Space 2 prior to starting Dead Space 2 speedrun. So I actually had started picking up Outlast recently as well, because I saw some speedruns of it, and I thought it was a really cool game to speedrun. And it turned out that it was. So, you know, currently have like 10th place, I think, in all chapters. And that's where Alexis is my friend as well, because I met her through Outlast. So there's a lot of great people in that community as well. Although the times are a lot more competitive. I will say, it is much harder to get a top time in Outlast than it is in Dead Space 2. So yeah.
Fair enough. I assume that you've played all 3 of the Dead Space games.
I have. I am not...
Which is your favorite?
Definitely Dead Space 2. This is kind of the unanimous choice for everyone. Either this or Dead Space 1. I've definitely played all 3 of them. This is by far my favorite Dead Space game, though. I've actually tried to speedrun Dead Space 1, but I just have not had a lot of time and, you know, kind of motivation really to learn it. It has a really awesome speedrun. If you guys saw it earlier in the marathon, I believe, it has some of the sickest tech in any speed game that I've ever seen, called pulse boosting, that recently was found in the last year. So it's actually amazing. So I will try and learn it eventually down the line. I'm not sure when that's going to be, but I do want to learn Dead Space 1. By the way, there is a trick coming up called Tormentor Fight, or Tormentor Skip. Or Tormentor Phase 2 skip, rather. So, I'm going to say this guy. So what we're going to be doing is, there's going to be explosives on either side of this ship coming up. And I'm going to try and hit them using a line gun shot. Dang, I missed it. Alright, let's try again. So, we're going to be trying to hit those explosives on either side of the ship. Yeah, it's pretty precise. If I don't get it here, then I will just keep going. It's not a huge deal if you miss it, but... yeah. Okay, we got it. Nice. So you can kind of see if the mines explode, and that'll skip a huge fight with the Tormentor. So it saves about 20 seconds. So, and now we are in chapter 6. Oh, and by the way, that little skip there does mess up your camera. So just aim to fix it. Alright, so another cutscene from Strauss. He's gonna try and get us to go to government sector, which is eventually what we're gonna do. So, Walker? Do we know who? We skip a lot of the story in this game, by the way. Especially later down the line. There's gonna be a lot of kind of questions that you might have about the story because of the speedrun. So. Alright. So chapter 6 is definitely the longest of all chapters in the game, and it is probably the most boring. There's really not a lot going on, so there is a skip right here though, and we're going to be turning on VSync for this. That'll call. I'll explain it to you. So we're going to be doing another elevator deload, and then we're going to be standing on top of a precise spot as the level deloads, and then shooting that vent so that we can skip about a 30-second long elevator. So the reason why I turn on VSync there is because level loads in a little bit slower when you have VSync on. So if we didn't have VSync on, the level would actually load in too fast, and we wouldn't be able to do that skip. So here we're going to be buying the detonator and selling the javelin gun. I'm actually going to sell that as well. I'm going to be buying some ammo because I need some ammo. So yeah. Alright. So here is we like to call Leaper Alley. That's just because there's going to be a lot of leapers. Yep, here they are. Wow, that was good. Alright, so we killed 2 leapers, and that's when the door opens, and after you kill 2. Here are cysts, and cysts don't really move at all, but when you get close to them, they will shoot out an explosive little sack thing, so we just try our best to avoid them. So yeah. In this room, we need to get all of the batteries out so that we can force a 0G and eliminate this fire. So, alright. We need this battery in order to take it into the next room so that we can unlock this elevator here. Alright. There's going to be a puker in this elevator, so we're just going to stasis him, hit the panel, and then turn around and kill him. Alright, and we got another pretty long elevator here, but there will be a very long time in a little bit that we will have time for more questions, so. But that is not right now. Alright. So this is Strauss. He's slowly going insane, obviously, as you can tell. He's hallucinating the person that he's talking about right there. No one's actually talking to him, so we're gonna be shooting that fuse to unlock this door. I'm gonna be grabbing some ammo here because in this room there is a lot of stalkers, and the way that we're gonna deal with the stalkers in this room is we're going to be putting it down a detonator, which will allow us to use the hack panel so that we don't have to fight any of these monsters that are in this room. We can just do the hack panel as fast as possible and get out of this room. So as you can see right there, that detonator just killed that stalker. If that detonator was not there, then we would be hit and we wouldn't be able to continue using the hacking panel. So we just got past that. Alright. Alright. So as you can, yeah, right there, he's really going insane here. But we do meet a new character. Her name is Ellie, and she will be, actually a good person, unlike Dana, throughout this entire run. She's very skeptical at first, as you can see, she just shot at us there. But yeah, we're gonna be seeing a lot of Ellie throughout the rest of the run. So.
You told from them. Don't say I'm gonna help. The last person who said that tried to kill me.
Hey, take it easy. I'm not gonna hurt you.
Yeah, you got that right. You tried.
All right, if you got any questions or anything, now's a good time to ask. We got another cutscene coming up here.
All right, sounds good. Instead of asking a question, I think I will talk about our charity a little bit.
All right, sounds good.
Heartland Animal Shelter was founded in 2002 to help alleviate unnecessary euthanasia of animals in the Chicagoland area. They are who we are helping raise money for tonight. If you'd like to donate, you can type !donate to get the donation link where you can donate as much as you'd like. If your message is family friendly, you can hear it read on stream. If you need another reason to donate, just remember you can write the amount off on your taxes because they are a 501c3 organization. No matter what, though, we appreciate you all for being here and to help support this wonderful charity. And coming up next after this awesome Dead Space 2 run will be the final run of the night, Fairly Odd Parents Shadow Showdown Earl Grey. But in the meantime, sit back, relax, and enjoy Radish playing Dead Space 2.
All right, awesome. Yeah, what you guys are doing for this charity is absolutely amazing, so I couldn't, you know, this is a really awesome thing that you guys are doing, so. Alright, in this next room, there's going to be a lot of enemies. We're just going to run right past them. That's all there is to this room. There's really nothing special about this, so. Dodging all of the shots that they have to take at us. Ow, that kind of hurt. But yeah, we just ran right past everyone. So yeah. Alright, this room, there's going to be a bunch of little baby crawlers. We're just going to shoot 2 of them, stasis this one so it doesn't get too close. And then we have a trick called Gym Skip. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be getting a deload off of these 2 doors. So as you can see right there. And that'll skip a huge fight in this upcoming room, which saves about a minute 30. So yeah, it's a really, really big skip that allows us to save some ammo and yeah. So as you can see, we just skipped this entire room. We were, you know, again, deloads, they're pretty whack. As you can see, I'm just running through the dark. You may be wondering, how do you navigate through the dark there? Well, there's really no other way other than you have to practice. You know, you can't do this all in your first try. You need to know the level. You need to know how to move through there, and it takes a lot of practice. But it is a very, very, you know, rewarding process. We're gonna put Nicole here in timeout because she's been a very, very, very naughty girl. So we're just gonna put the timeout chair on top of her. Oh, we almost had it there. And this is unironically the most boring part of this entire run. We have like a 2-minute elevator followed by like a minute cutscene. So if you have any questions, now would be the best time. Told you that chapter 6 was the most boring.
Hey, you know what? At least you gave us some warning, so I can guess then that this is probably your least favorite part of the run.
Absolutely, 100%.
He says he knows you.
So you had mentioned it. Sorry, go ahead.
I strongly dislike chapter 6, not just because it's boring, but because coming up there is one of the harder tricks in the run. But I will talk about that when we get there.
Fair enough. So then you had mentioned before a little bit that since we are speedrunning through this, we don't necessarily get the most accurate overview of the plot. You want to sort of explain the main story beats?
Yeah, so in Dead Space 2, you know, we spawn on the sprawl. You know, it's a huge area where a bunch of people are. But since the marker, you know, has come back, it's driven a lot of necromorphs to kill a lot of people. So Isaac here is just going to be trying to survive off of that. And he's going to be chasing Dana, as you can see in the first 5 chapters of the game. He's going to be chasing Dana and trying to get the cure that she has supposedly for his dementia, which she obviously does not have. And then we meet Ellie, which is where we are right now. Oh, I just got 2 stasis packs, bro. What is my stasis pack look? But yeah, we're going to be following Ellie, trying to get to the government sector in order to, you know, at least, you know, try and destroy the marker so that we can stop all of the necromorphs. And that is basically the main story plot of Dead Space 2. But I will talk about here, we got Transport Hub Skip, and this is without a doubt one of the hardest skips in the game. I really hope I get it because that'll be sick, but if I don't, it's okay. You only get one chance at this. So what we're going to be doing is there's going to be an enemy called the Brute, and the Brutes are big, bulky guys, right? So they have a ton of collision. So that locked door right there, we're going to be trying to get the Brute to push us through that locked door using his collision, which will skip a huge chunk of time. So yeah, we're going to try our best to do that. So I'm going to be doing a setup in order to get him into the right spot so that he can push us through. So here we go.
Holy shit, Isaac! Look out! It's headed for you!
So shooting Brutes makes him charge at you. So we're going to be shooting him there. There we go. We're going to be stasising him. There we go. Turning around, shooting him again. There we go. Okay, nice. Okay, we got it. Alright, so that gives us a deload that we can just run through these locked doors. Kill this wall guardian, because if you get close to him, he will insta-kill you. Pick up that semiconductor, and we got it. Alright, nice. We're going to be skipping this elevator by checkpoint restarting, which will put us at the bottom of that elevator. Kill these guys right here. We're actually now in Chapter 7. I know it was kind of chaotic there for a second, but we are in Chapter 7. And coming up is the... Well, I can't say it's the biggest anymore, but it is the second biggest skip in the game. It saves about 8 minutes and 30 seconds. It's called Chapter 7 skip. So we're going to be clipping out of bounds here using a 0G clip. There we go. We're going to be flying over to a specific section and doing a specific lineup in order to hit a checkpoint that is loaded at the end of the chapter. So it sounds complex, and it's a pretty difficult skip once you first try it, but over time it does get pretty consistent. So I'm going to pause to let go of my mouse so that I do not move it as I'm flying back, because we need to get a lot of height in order to fly back and hit the checkpoint. Alright. I really hope this works. That looks like a good setup. So, we will see here in a second. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Alright. So, you can see we just turned around there. That's because we hit the ceiling of the 0G. So now we're going to fly in a specific direction. And we're going to checkpoint restart after falling for a certain amount of time. Probably around right there. And that will hopefully put us at the very end of the chapter, right before Chapter 8. So that skips a ton of gameplay. That skips about a 2-minute long... Very nice. Okay, we got it. That skips about a 2-minute long elevator. A ton of fighting sections and you know, an auto-scroller. So yeah, it's very, very big. What we just did right there, by the way, is we hit the trigger in that room that'll cause a fight. And we came back into this room so that we do not have to do that fight at all. We can just sit here and chill and use the store, which is pretty important. Alright. So we can sell that, Just selling a lot of the excess ammo that we do not need. We're going to be buying the flamethrower, and the flamethrower is important for a skip later down the line. It'll be here in a little bit, but yeah, it's pretty crazy. So yeah. Picking up a lot of the stuff here.
Isaac, I'll try to open the CEC door on your level.
Alright.
Hold on.
So we got a... You know, if you got any more questions, I know you said you had a good decent amount of them, so now would be a good time.
Sounds good. So you had said that this game is your favorite out of all of them, but everybody has something that they'd like to change about their favorite thing. What would you change about Dead Space 2 to make it better?
So, one thing that I would change about Dead Space 2, in terms of at least the speed run, I will talk about just as a game, but in terms of speedrunning, I think what can be made better is allowing collision on weapons and changing the pulse rifle alt fire so that we can use the tech that is in Dead Space 1 in Dead Space 2, because that would make this game absolutely amazing. But in terms of a game in general, one thing I really don't like about this game is just how unbalanced the difficulty is. You know, we're playing on casual right now, and casual is just so incredibly easy. Like, there's really no skill involved, at least in terms of the combat. The only difficulty in the run comes from these skips, you know. That's really the only tough part. If you're going for a top time, then executing the combat rooms well is a pretty difficult thing that you need to keep in mind. But, I mean, a lot of the difficulty is from the skip. So I would personally like to see all the difficulties, you know, kind of fixed and more balanced, so it's not extremely diversified from the easiest difficulty to the hardest difficulty. So, yep. But in terms of, like, the combat and the storyline, everything about this game is absolutely amazing. Like, there's really nothing bad that I can say about the combat, honestly.
Nice.
I've just walked one big
Alright.
circle today.
So, we're in an elevator going up to Chapter 8. I actually have a safety save in this chapter, because if I miss the skip that is here, then I will lose 3 minutes, and that is not going to happen. So, yeah. But that shouldn't happen. I should not miss this skip. It is pretty easy, so... Yeah. It's going to be another deload, but it's also going to be a 0G skip, so... Again, in this cutscene right here, you can see Isaac hallucinating more and more. So he's slowly going insane over time. Oh, I should not have reloaded. If you reload, by the way, you can't interact with anything, so it's best not to reload while you're right in front of doors so that you can actually use them and then reload. Alright, in this room, we're just going to be killing these enemies so that they don't hold that door open, which will allow this door to open pretty fast. If those enemies hold that door open, then that second door that I opened will be pretty slow. Alright. So here is the first part of the skip. We're going to be getting a deload off of these two doors, and this is going to look absolutely crazy. There's literally going to be nothing, but just based off memorization alone, we're going to be able to navigate our way through there. So I hit that door so that all of the collision in these rooms opens up. I'm going to be... Okay, nice. We're going to be hitting that door so that that collision opens up. We're going to be doing a precise lineup. Where is it? Right about there. 0G launching, and then going forward. And then falling, and hopefully we hit the checkpoint. We will know if I turn orange on screen, which I did. Very nice. You will not be able to see orange on screen, and that is just because of the way that the game, you know, the brightness is on stream, so... But yeah, we got it. Very nice. Alright, this room might look pretty crazy and hectic, but we're literally just going to be running past everything that pops out here, and then finally shooting this, shooting that wall guardian at the very end. Turning around and hitting that exploder just in case. So yeah. Alright, this next room, there's going to be a ton of cysts that we just run past. So, alright, nice. Yeah, that is a PogChamp skip. Alright, in this room, there's going to be a bunch of these, you know, kind of nitrogen tanks. We're going to be using these explosive canisters in order to get rid of them. So, yeah. Alright, there it is. So, we need 3 in order to get rid of this one, so we're just going to gather them and then shoot them. There's just going to be a guy here. We're just going to stasis him so that we can get around him. Alright. Very nice. Alright, now we're going to Chapter 10. And Chapter 10, oh boy, where do I start with Chapter 10? It is definitely the hardest chapter in the game by a lot. So, yeah, there is a decent possibility that I will mess one of the skips up. Hopefully I do not. That is a plan. But yeah. Hey, don't miss flight deck. Flight deck isn't the hard. That isn't the hard skip though. The other 3 are definitely tough. All right. So you may be wondering, why are there 2 LAs and why are there 2 Strasses? So that little elevator skip that we did, where I boosted on the side and got the extra collision and was able to fall down, that actually skipped the deload trigger. For these 2. I did not miss it last marathon. No, that was shots fired. You're thinking of a different marathon. But anyways, because I did that skip, that deloaded a bunch of stuff. It deloaded the back texture, so you weren't able to see anything until just now when that beam loads in. And it didn't deload the other Ellie and Stross that were originally in the tram. So
Back us up to the station.
Why?
Just do it, Ellie. Hurry.
I'm just saying, that first marathon that I did, Alexis, that was a really good marathon, alright?
With the gravity tether
Shots
still
fired. The only
working,
thing, I crashed and I missed it twice.
Isaac, that's ridiculous.
if I can land it track
So.
just for a few seconds, you should be able to get the transport across. Stay ready.
Alright.
Isaac, no. It's a really bad idea.
And this is his famous line. Stick around, I'm full of bad ideas. So we're going to be waiting here a little bit as we go into the Ishimura. As you can see, we're going back to the Ishimura. So yeah, this chapter is absolutely crazy in terms of speedrun. There's actually going to be 4, or technically 5 different separate skips that we have to do, each of which are pretty difficult. So there's going to be about 5 difficult back-to-back skips that we have to perform, each of which don't even save that much time. They only save like maybe, you know, a minute at most, 30 seconds, you know, in terms of on average. So let me collect these items right here. Another stasis back. What the hell? Alright. Alright, chapter 10, here we go. So the first trick that we're going to be doing is called flight deck skip. It skips a bunch of running and just kind of waiting around, so it is pretty, you know, it isn't really that bad. This is probably one of the easiest tricks of this chapter. So we're just going to be moving these in order to get a deload off of these two doors. As you can see right there, waiting for that one to close so that this regains collision. Alright, and then that is fully deloaded. So we're going to be hitting this previous door that we had come through in order to load in that. Letting it close again. And then we're going to be doing a precise lineup. Alright, that should be good. Really hope that I hit that. Alright, so we did a stomp launch there in order to boost us all the way down to where a checkpoint is. Okay, we got it, nice. So yeah, that skips a ton of waiting around, and it's a pretty interesting skip. But yeah, this coming up here is definitely the hardest skip of the chapter, so I really hope I get this. It's another brute clip. It's basically the same principle as before. Oh, hello, can you move? Thanks. Put an alt fire mine down right there in order to kill that brute as fast as possible, so yeah. Maybe brute spin. We'll see. I have to get it first, so I'm going to focus right here because this is pretty tough. One, two, three, four. Okay, very nice. Okay. Huh. Thank God. Alright, so we got the brute to push us through that locked door, and we're going to be doing a line gun alt fire setup that will allow us to hit a checkpoint that is further down that skips an elevator. Whew, okay, that was nerve-wracking, but we got it. Alright. Alright, we're going to be hitting that elevator so that we can call it down. Because if we did not hit that elevator, then we would have to wait a pretty long while when we came back. Oh, that's right, I didn't even see. My bad, that was my bad. I did not show the brute, so we do not know if it spinned or not. So yeah, the next skip that we're going to be doing is called decontamination skip. And this is going to be absolutely mind-blowing. Like, you guys will probably have no idea what's going on. I don't even know what some of the stuff that we do for the skip is. But yeah, it's really crazy what we're about to do. So, I will explain it as we go. So, okay, really? That's okay. I kill that brute there because he can cause some problems later down the line. Kill that guy. Really? You just decided to not take damage? Okay, that's fine. That's okay. Okay. So here's where it gets crazy. So we're going to be putting a detonator down there for a little bit later to keep some of these doors open. We're going to be doing a puzzle here by grabbing a bunch of these pieces and putting them into the centrifuge where they belong. And see, this is where I really wish that I had a commentator. Alright, now we're going to be doing a 0G clip. Hopefully we get it pretty fast. Oh man, that was so close. That's okay. Okay, that was pretty good. So we did a 0G clip there, and now we're going to be doing a lineup to start a deload. So we're going to be landing on top of a door, and I really hope that I do not mess this up. Okay, we didn't. Let's go. Okay, so we opened that, and that loaded in all of this textures here. So we're going to be opening this in order to load that elevator in again. That also deloads this area, so we're going to be flying through a 0G here, turning right after we fly a little bit. And this is the detonator that we placed earlier. So we're going to be opening that door. And then we have to open this door again, come back here, wait for this to fully open again, and then finally we can go activate the centrifuge. And then come back around, and now all of this will finally be deloaded, and this will allow us to skip a singular locked door that keeps us from leaving a big fight. So yeah, it is an insanely, complex skip, but I wouldn't really say that it's tough. This skip is definitely very, very precise. Oh my goodness, okay. But I wouldn't really say that it's necessarily that difficult. As long as you know what to do, you can get through it pretty decently, so yeah. All of that was to skip that one locked door, and it may not seem faster, but I can promise you that skip actually saves about 30 seconds. So it's pretty insane. But we're not done yet, because we still have another skip to go. But if you have a quick question, now would be a good time to do it.
Alrighty, sounds good. I assume that when you're not speedrunning or doing other things, you are playing other casual games occasionally. Do you have a favorite genre?
I do not have a favorite genre. Maybe because all of the games that I played casually on the side, they're also different. Like I said before, Minecraft, completely, awesome game. All of you know it. Osu. I also play Osu. It's a rhythm game. Really cool game. I play Geometry Dash, which is a platformer, I would say. It's not really a rhythm game. So I played this game, obviously. I actually do play this game casually as well, so yeah. But I don't really have a favorite specific genre. Alright. So coming up, as if that wasn't enough, we do have another skip. But this one, thankfully, isn't as bad. If you remember Quarantine skip that we did at the very beginning of the run, it's going to be similar to that, and we're going to be using these enemies to get a deload off of some of the... excuse me, move, thanks. We're going to be using these enemies in order to get a deload off of that open door. We're going to open this door. Keep these enemies stasis so that we can keep this door open and keep it deloaded. Alright, nice. And so now we're going to be running through a locked door. Oh, I forgot. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to be using the locator here because I really do not want to fall. So yeah, there we go. So we're going to be keeping this deload all the way through. We're going to be skipping an elevator where we have to go up and all the way around. So yeah, we just skipped a ton of gameplay. So that skip saves about 20 seconds. So. Alright, and that is the majority of all of the hard tricks in Chapter 10 done. That was very, very nerve-wracking, but we got it done. So, that is definitely the hardest part of the marathon done. So, one thing that's interesting about this run is that there are a lot of alternate tricks that you can do. So, for example, if you're just starting out and if you're new, a lot of these tricks may be too difficult for you to start out with. People like me, Shortcat, Crazy Bad Games, we can all do these tricks pretty consistently. That's because we played these games for, in my case, 500 hours. I think in Shark's case, about 600 hours. But yeah, we played this game a ton. So, but there are a lot of alternate tricks that you can do in order, if you can't do some of these tricks, like, for example, if you can't do, like, Chapter 7 skip, then there are a lot of different skips in Chapter 7 that you can do that will greatly reduce the time that you spend in that chapter. So, take Alexis, for example. She hasn't played this game that much. She's already gotten a great time. She's barely, practiced this game, as much as me and Shark has, and she's already gotten a great time. That's partly because even though she isn't doing a lot of the super crazy hard tricks that we do, she's still able to do some of the big skips. So, by the way, what we just did right there is we basically just opened this door. If you hold E on that interact panel, you can actually just hold it from anywhere. So yeah. So what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be interacting with this before, because usually Nicole will show up there and she'll stop you for a second, and ask where you're going and all of that, which takes about 8 seconds. But if you look at the ground and run, and then spam interact as fast as possible, you can actually you can get through that without Nicole popping up, and that's because it's a visual thing. So you're fighting Nicole popping up by interacting with it as fast as possible. So yeah. That also breaks the audio here. Usually you hear a bunch of crazy stuff that happens, but strangely enough, there's none because for some reason, I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe Shark knows, but yeah, it's kind of messed up. The audio is, so. Alright, so now we are finally going to be going into late game. That includes chapters 11 through 15. So, a little bit down the line, there's going to be a skip that we call Drill Skip. And Drill Skip is absolutely crazy. So, it's a pretty bonkers skip, so. As you can see, Isaac is having a nightmare about Nicole. As you can see there, you made me die, so yeah, he's going crazy. More and more of the time. And then Ellie and Strauss here are fighting with each other. So as you can see, Strauss there. If you miss Drill Skip, that'll be so sad. It will be sad. It'll be fine though. If I miss Drill Skip, it'll be fine. You know, it'll be alright. So this room is a pretty interesting room. There's going to be a bunch of stalkers that we just kill with this line gun mine right here. Kill this stalker with the detonator. Kill one of them with the mine. And then we shoot a final mine at the baby. And that'll allow us to spam interact at the door and open the door right when we kill the baby. Alright. Another hack panel. We haven't seen one of those in a while. That's because chapter 10 is pretty long and, you know, there's no hacking panels in chapter 10. 2 assists here, we're just going to run right by them. You can actually just run straight by them. You know, their collision, or their explosives can't reach you that far, so. Fun fact, if, you know, a lot of this goopy stuff right here, if you actually aim down sights, it'll make you walk a little bit faster, so. Now we got a huge room here, but we're just going to be doing our best to avoid a lot of these enemies. Stasis that one. Take this battery and then shoot it over where we need to replace it. And we're going to checkpoint restart in order to de-aggro a ton of these enemies. There we go. And then finally we're going to shoot. Oh, jeez, okay. Okay, that was pretty bad. Okay, well that was not good. That was the opposite of good, but we got out of it, so it's okay. Alright.
Attention shift workers. Be mindful of the nearest survival chamber. These are your only hope of survival should a crisis occur.
Waiting for you. Now it's your turn. Oh god. Ellie, step through.
So as you can see right now, Ellie has just lost her eyeball due to Strauss poking it through a screwdriver. So now they're going to get in a big tussle, but we're not going to worry about that because we're just going to be busy doing Strauss kill skip and then eventually drill skip. So first thing that we're going to do here, as soon as we see the color shift, we're going to checkpoint restart, and that'll put us a little bit closer to where we're actually going to clip out, which is going to be right here. Okay, nice clip out. We're going to align, aim at a specific spot, and then fly towards it. And that will put us at a checkpoint, which will skip about a pretty good amount. So we can checkpoint restart based on that dude's dialogue right there. This skip is really easy. The checkpoint is really wide. So, all right, but what's not easy is punch at the shaft. Punch at the shaft is pretty difficult. So, all right. Since we did that skip, we actually have 0G in this part because we didn't. I think we didn't. We didn't hit the trigger that will deload a lot of the 0G. So, all right. What we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be keeping our 0G by punching up this entire length of the shaft. Normally, this elevator is like 2 minutes. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick to this wall right here by having 0G. And punching will retain our 0G property. So as long as we keep punching, we will actually still have 0G, even if we are out of the 0G bounds. So right now I am just punching away. We're going to be getting to this part, which is pretty safe from the enemies that will be spawning on the elevator. So, and we're just going to be punching up. So if you've got any questions, now would be a good time.
Alrighty, let's see here. So, do you have anything that you'd want people, like, if there's one thing that people took away from this run after watching you do this and, you know, after the event is over, what would it be?
I think what I would want people to take away from this is that while I may make this look easy, and you know, speedrunners, like a lot of these people that have practiced for hours, make this look easy. It takes a lot of dedication, but ultimately hard work pays off. So if you just keep putting in your time in these speedy games and you want to get better and better and improve more and more, it will ultimately be worth it. The hard work pays off. So yeah, that's probably the one thing that I want people to take away from this.
I like that. That's really apt.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Alright, we are nearing the end of this elevator, so we have a little bit of tricky platforming to do here, so alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3. Okay, come on. Okay, so we did all of that to land on this beam here. Now we're going to get a wall ride. And we're going to boost all the way over to that platform over there. Okay. Now this is where the flamethrower comes in handy, because it's really useful to kill these enemies right here. Okay, you're still alive. Okay, finally you died. Okay. So we're going to get out on this. And we're going to run forward. Okay, nice. We got it. And that door is unlocked. Okay, so if all of the enemies that I killed were not dead, then that door would not unlock. So yeah. The reason why we're doing this is because we want to get invincibility. And so the way that we do that, there's a checkpoint that we usually walk through that door that I had to make sure that wasn't locked. So if we skip over that cutscene, then what we do is we walk through that, because that checkpoint is not loaded anymore. So we can just straight up walk through this door and walk through the cutscene, and that'll give us invincibility. So now we are literally invincible. Like unless we checkpoint restart or we quit the game, we will always have this invincibility. We cannot die. So that's going to be a little bit useful later for drill skip. But for right now, we're just going to be doing our best to avoid, or we don't need to avoid anything actually, but we're just going to be trying to get the objects that we need in order to start up the drill. So we need to head over here and make sure that we go get this this little platform, and that'll be used to get off the drill. So we need this battery though in order to start up the drill. So let's get it and shoot it over there so that we have it for later. This is the object that we're going to be using to clip us off of the drill, but we're going to be putting it over there as well. Alright, we're going to be putting that real close to the drill where it needs to be. We're gonna shoot this guy. Oh, really? Okay. As you can see there, I got really close to him, and he didn't. You know, I didn't take any damage. So yeah. All right. So we put in that battery, put in the key card that we got, and now we just have to do a hack panel.
Yeah, the circuit junction just shorted out. About to find another one.
It's standard. There should be another one around here somewhere.
Alright, so normally when you would do this skip, you would actually not get this checkpoint here. The wall ride that we did at the beginning of the chapter was in order to avoid this checkpoint. Or, sorry, not this checkpoint, this cutscene trigger. But for the purpose of that, this cutscene is very, very funny. And it is a little bit safer because if you actually hit this cutscene trigger after you're on, like you try and get up the drill, your game will hard lock. So we do not want that to happen. So we're just gonna get this out of the way, and also it is very funny as you can see on the screen here. Yeah, real. As you can see, Isaac is just straight up phasing through the drill. It is absolutely crazy. So But yeah, that allows us to, you know, not hard lock the game, which is important, so. Alright, so we're going to be grabbing this. This will be used to get us off of the drill. But first, we have to turn VSync on. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to be placing this here, and then all we have to do is just walk forward. Oh, wait, hold up. All we have to do is just... Excuse me? Okay, thank you. All we have to do is just walk forward and right, and that'll get us to this area where you can just straight up run off of the drill. Alright, so now we're going to be getting into a precise area. We're going to be letting go of the mouse, and then running forward. And so since the drill left without us, that eventually deloads all of this area. So we're going to fall all the way back down into that 0G that we were in prior. So now we're going to be sitting here waiting for audio cues in order to hit a checkpoint that loads in at the end of the drill ride. So technically, while we're not skipping the drill, we skip a lot of the cutscenes afterwards. Yeah, this is an extremely, very, very scary skip. It's pretty nerve-wracking, and if I mess this up, I will be pretty sad. But it's all right. If I mess this up, at least it'll look pretty cool. So yeah. So you got any more questions for us while we're just sitting here waiting in the dark?
Let's see here. I have a memory like a sieve, so I forget if I asked this, but do you know of any sort of interesting development stories behind the game?
I do not, actually. I don't know if Shark might. Looney might. I actually do not know of many interesting development stories behind the game. So, by the way, that was one audio cue. We're going to be listening for seven of those. So, 2. Alright. And then 3. In Dead Space 1, the drag tentacle section almost killed the game. They spent a lot of time trying to get it right. This is what Sharkhat is saying, by the way, in chat. 5. Oh, yeah, that's right. So in Dead Space 2 in Chapter 6, they use a tentacle that clips them out of bounds. So they spent a lot of time trying to get that right, and then they just use it to clip out of bounds. So it's pretty funny. So in between the 6th and the 7th audio cue, there's a lot of time, just like there is between this, just like there is between when you first fall down and then the first audio cue. So we're gonna be sitting here for a while before we actually start to go forward.
Fair enough. We have time for a quick question.
Yep.
You have any pets?
I do have a lot of pets. I actually have 6 cats, and I know that might sound crazy. 5 of them are my mom's, 1 of them is my dad's. So, I'm a cat guy. So, if you like dogs more than cats, I hope you mauled, because I like cats more. So, I like dogs. So I like dogs too. They're really cool pets, but I just like cats more. All right. There's the 7th one, so we're going to go forward now. Alright, moment of truth. Hopefully we get it. Come on. Pause, champ. Okay. Looks normal. I'm going to wait a little bit here to see if we hit the checkpoint. Alright, let's go. Come on. Come on, do it. Alright. Oh. Come on. Yes! Let's go. Alright, we got it. Let's go. Alright, sick. Alright, so we're going to be opening our inventory here to skip the little cutscene, little kind of animation thing there. By the way, Alexis found that strat, so shoutouts to Alexis for finding that strat right there. But that skip is not harder than the skip that we have to do right now. There is a skip called Idiot Skip. It is really tough, but the thing is, if I miss this, it's not going to be that damaging. It won't be that bad, so. Hopefully I get it, but if we don't, then it's not that bad. So here we go. Let's see if we can get it. And we got it first try. Let's go. let's go, dude. Okay, that's awesome. So what that did was, normally there was a huge cutscene there, but we pulled the battery out of it before the door closed. So that allows us to leave the area before the cutscene ends. And by the way, what that did is that deloaded this entire room. While as soon as Tiedemann said, "Clark, you idiot," that's when it deloads. So it's pretty funny. That's why we call it idiot skip. But yeah, we skip another cutscene right there. So yeah. Oof, let's go. All right. So we are finally through with the hardest skips in the game. There is not that many hard tricks left. So all we have to do now is Chapter 13. There's just a ton of running sections. There's going to be a lot of combat. This room right here, it's called Stock Room. We're just going to be grabbing this battery, shooting it over there, and then running around so that the stalkers don't directly hit us. Taking that battery out, putting this battery in. I don't know what you were trying to do there, but it did not work out very well. This next room, it's pretty nerve-wracking actually. It's called Laser Room. It's not really that difficult, but it can be. You'll see why I mean by it's nerve-wracking, because there are a ton of lasers and it can be pretty easy to mess up. Alright. Alright, very nice. We got it. Cool. So, normally you would have to, like, stop at a bunch of, areas along the way so that you wouldn't, die. But if you actually just run really close to the center of that room, then it makes it really easy to outrun the lasers, actually, so. We're going to be pulling these things down. Man, I do have to say, doing this run, I forget just how quickly time flies. Feels like I just started just 10 minutes ago, but nope, we're already almost done with the run. So there is potential for new skips. There's actually a couple of new skips that have already been found. They just are not completely 100% consistent yet. For example, extended drill skip. It is a really tough skip. I think, at least right now anyways. It's been hit a couple of times, but it's not completely consistent. And then they're trying a new meme where you can actually possibly get clipped through walls if a puker grabs you. In terms of how that's going to be for the speedrun, if it's going to make it better or worse, we will see. Probably worse, but that's okay. Yes, that's right. Chapter 3 Kinesis launch. There's a trick there that you could do, but the difference between that and the other tricks is that it's literally random. Nope, Alexis, you're wrong. As far as we know, tilt launching is random. By the way, we're going to be selling the flamethrower here, and we're going to be grabbing the contact beam. Oh, that's right, we have to get rid of all of those. So we're going to be selling that, and then grabbing the contact beam. And that is used on the final boss, so. Yeah, so the Kinesis launch has been done twice after about 8 to 10 collective hours of trying to do it. I don't even know how, Sharkcat, you managed to hit it in the first place. That is absolutely mind-blowing to me. How long were you attempting it before you hit it? It's free. It is not free, for the record. Alright, we got cutscene here, so if you got a question, now would be the good time to do it.
No, not really any sort of questions. I did just want to remind everybody that this is a charity live stream, and we're here to raise money for Heartland Animal Shelter. Just like to remind y'all that you can type !donate to get the donation link, where you can donate as much as you'd like. Alternatively, you can type exclamation point wish list and get their wish list. And then you can donate supplies to them in that way. If you decide to donate financially, as long as your message is family appropriate, you can hear it read on stream by me or by whomever is going to be hosting next, which would be Osmorn. And yeah, you know what? No matter what, though, we really appreciate everybody being here to help support this wonderful charity and to watch this really, really, really good Dead Space 2.
Yeah, so this has been an awesome marathon to be a part of. It's not over yet, but the run is pretty close to finishing. We got one more skip that we're going to do, and then we just have the final boss, and then that's it. Alright, so if you've ever played Dead Space 2, you probably at least have heard of this scene. It is infamous for Dead Space. Dead Space as a whole franchise. When you think of Dead Space 2, you probably think of this scene right here. This is an extremely disturbing scene. So if you have, like, I guess sensitivity issues with your eye, then this might not be the best to look at. Because there will be a needle that goes right into his eye. So if you're sensitive with that kind of thing, just look away for a little bit. I will tell you when it's over. So yeah. But basically what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be crawling inside this machine, and there's going to be a needle that we have to control that will hopefully go into Isaac's eye. It's actually 100% consistent. It may look really, really inconsistent with how Isaac's eye moves around and stuff, but if we just put it in a specific spot, then every single time it will land, because Isaac's eye movement is consistent, so. Alright, there we go. So it may look pretty difficult, but it's actually super easy. Okay, the scene is over, so if you've looked away, then you can look back. It's over now. It's done. It is a pretty hard part to watch. It still kind of hurts my eye every time I watch it. So.
Nicole, where are you?
Follow the light, Isaac. I'll be waiting for you at the marker. But what do I do? All right. So chapter 14 and 15, here we go. This is the final part, final skip of the run. It's going to be a deload, and this is actually found by Sharkcat. This is what kind of sparked the whole deload revolutionary tech. But first we got to do this hack panel, so we're going to kill this invincible guy that pops out here. Or not kill him, I guess, but at least knock him down for a while so that we can do this hack panel. So we're going to shoot him with a mine, so that he has to regenerate his limbs, because this guy actually does not die. But what I'm going to be doing right now is I'm going to be grabbing a safety checkpoint in this room right here. Just in case I miss it, it doesn't take that long for me to get back and try it again. So we're going to be getting a deload off of these two doors. We're going to be running around this ledge right here, and then all you have to do is just walk off with that sort of that camera angle, and you should get it pretty much every single time. It's really not that difficult. It's kind of a miracle that the skip even works, honestly. Like, Sharkcat found this, I think, on his second try of attempting it, and it works. So, yeah. So now here's Tideman. This is the antagonist of the entire game. We're finally in a show match against him, but this is kind of a letdown because he doesn't really do anything. Yeah, Sharkcat literally found this by accident. He literally found a 3-minute and 40-second time save on accident. That actually led to even more deloads. So it's a really, really insane skip. So. Don't die to Nicole. I'm pretty sure I will not die to Nicole. That's just a thought.
But she really wants to be whole.
Nope. It's not gonna happen. By the way, since we did that skip here, Nicole is usually here. She's just not for some reason. I think you skipped the load trigger for loading in Nicole here. So we're literally gonna be talking nothing here. It's pretty interesting. Alright, so for the final boss, we're gonna be turning on VSync, and this will give us extra damage so that we can quick kill the final boss. We're gonna checkpoint restart. That skips a cutscene as soon as we get in, and we're just gonna quick kill the boss as fast as possible. One body shot to Nicole, and then 2 body shots to the marker, and that'll be it. 1, and there it is. So the prediction can end. Anyone who voted yes that I will die was wrong. I told you I would not die, alright? Boom. And that is Dead Space 2 80%. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this speedrun. It was an absolute blast to be here. I'm super excited that I was able to fill in for Sharkcat87, who was originally supposed to be doing this run, but he had to be in Florida, I guess. What a loser. But I would like to shout out the Dead Space community. Sharkcat87, he's an absolutely phenomenal guy. Wait, timer is not over. The time is not ended, so resume time. The timer is not ended. I forgot I shouldn't have said that was Dead Space 2, because the timer is not done yet. So I don't know if you can start it up again, but...
We can resume it. It's fine.
Okay. I will tell you when time ends. So anyways, Sharkcat87, an absolutely great guy. He has been the person who has found a lot of these skips. Living Looney Bin as well, he was in here for a little bit. Looney's been a part of this community way longer than most of us have. So he's a really great guy to be around as well. Crazy Bad Games, he was really supposed to be my commentator, but I'm pretty sure he was really tired, so it's alright, man. All good. He's also another very, very good Dead Space 2 speedrunner. Sir Kyle95, Sharkcat's friend, he's also a pretty nice guy. Very, very cool. Awesome to be around, so. And I would just like to shout out anyone in the Dead Space 2 Discord, and anyone in the community in general, so. We got one final section here. One final 0G flying guy. Or that loony guy. Nah, man, you're cool. You know it. You're a cool guy. But yeah. We got one final flying section to do here. This is very, very easy. I think Sharkcat has actually died here once. I don't remember, but yeah, we just gotta dodge some flying rocks. There's one final QuickTime event, and the timer will end after that event. So I will tell you when it ends here in a second. Alright, so the timer will end in 3, 2, 1, now. And that is it. That is Dead Space 2 80%. So, I really thank you guys again for watching. It's been a blast. So, again, shout outs to everyone who has supported me on my journey here. I really appreciate it. So, I believe we're going to be doing an interview. Is that correct?
I will have to double check. I didn't see anything about one before, but okay, yeah, it does appear that we will.
Okay.
So yeah, I believe we're going to be moving to intermission real fast and then back to the interview, I believe.
All right. Sounds good.